This is the 20th season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good evening, and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. And it is In-Fisherman Master Angler Challenge Week. Joined, sitting across from me for the second time in studio. I think outside of like Gene Gilliland, you might be the only two-time in-studio guest. I might have had Mark in here twice.
How many times has Gene been here?
Twice.
So by the end of the week, I'll have the record.
Yes.
Substantially.
Yes. And by the end of the week, we'll have much better internet. So I have diagnosed the problem. I'm still not comfortable enough going your route with the Starlink. I'm going to go Starlink Mobile next year, but I have a work order in that is going to be fulfilled tomorrow, Mr. Stefan. So if you're listening to this on iTunes, audio's fine, glitches just a tad, and then the internet goes in and out. Basically what it is a transformer. I don't think that's what it's called. That's what I call it.
Is that what they told you?
No. So what it is it is a dirty signal right now, which means that on one of the three poles that's over in the woods next to me, there's something in there that is rebooting my internet continually. So that's why it goes like sucky, okay, good, sucky, okay, good. But yeah. I will say this for Vive broadband, A1 customer service as far as like trying to diagnose it.
I mean, we'll see about that. We'll see how it goes.
Josh from Minnesota has helped immensely get everything set up in the BTL studio, especially when I got it started. But I have the problem diagnosed. It's just a matter like it involves trucks and ladders and people who know what's up, because it's not just like a quick IT fix.
So they're coming tomorrow while we're fishing.
They're coming tomorrow while we're fishing, and then they put it
into the house.
No, they don't have to come into the house because there's nothing wrong with the router or the modem. It's a deal outside the house that they can fix.
Yeah.
So, how was your drive down?
Dude, it's so long. The longer I do this, the more, like, to clarify, it's not long for a normal tournament trip. It was about 13 and a half hours, but it's just like every year those trips get longer and longer and longer. But I will say this, dude, I was more excited for this drive, I think, than I was any tournament all year long. Like this, I am so looking forward to fun fishing, chasing big fish of multiple species, 95% of which I have no clue how to even target most of the species, let alone the biggest of that species.
Yes.
So I mean, I'm really excited for it. I have no expectations. I think we're going to go to a few bodies of water that should have some big fish. And,
we're going to the body of water that has the biggest fish. We're basically driving 12 hours to have a shot at
a big one.
Our personal.
But that's
best.
Only one category.
That is, well, potentially two if lightning strikes. But we will have cameras running the entire time tomorrow. If we have a signal, we'll also probably go live on either our Instagram or on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. I don't know where these lakes are. Some of them are located. I don't want to put the pressure on you, Matt, but you definitely have done more research on your local lakes to give us the best chance we have at catching as many In-Fisherman Master Angler awards. So with that comes a little bit of pressure, though, right? Like if we fail, I mean, I might do a little finger point.
Now, listen, this is like 6 months in the making. When did I have Thomas Allen on BTL? Probably 6 months ago.
I was thinking about that because like this has been a long time in the making, and I feel it definitely was the first half of the year.
So I had just a quick little recap, and then we're really going to dive into what our strategy is this week, because I'll say this right now. We're going to do BTLs every single night when we get back off of the water. We're going to fish Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, correct?
Yeah.
So we have tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 BTLs coming your way in the evening. Now the times might change. That's why if you are subscribed to the BTL YouTube channel, you see me better over that.
Dude, is this new?
Every like 95%
I'm telling you, last time
of the
I was
things.
here, I felt like I could see you. Right now, I feel like I'm doing this.
No,
you're like hidden over there.
No, I'm totally. Well, I've got the screens and
this is fun though. This is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I need to get one of these.
I did when I made the studio. I did go high quality with the Rode mics and the microphones.
Yeah,
good audio always helps with the podcast.
You always sound good when I listen to you.
Thank you. We'll look better tomorrow.
It was some big fish in our
It's kind of like my life. Like it gets fuzzy a little bit, and then at moments of clarity,
you never know what you're running into. I get here within. So I got here around 4:30.
Yeah, drove. What time did you leave?
I got up at. What time did I get up? I got up at 3.
I will circle.
I got on
the
road at like 3:20.
Okay,
but I mean
AM.
Yeah,
in Wisconsin.
Yeah, the drive.
Ate some cheese curds. Slugged back some spotted cows.
There was
the road.
There was a quick trip stop for an early morning French vanilla coffee and a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant because they have the best breakfast. And then from that point on, I think I stopped one time to get gas, and that was it. Got here though, and within 20 minutes, you took me to a fantastic burger joint.
The Garage.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm. While we were there, we got a call from Juice's Jigs to go check out a monster buck that he shot. So then we were in the woods holding up, a monster buck.
Check out my Instagram story for that. That was literally an hour ago right now.
And then I just washed blood off my hands.
Down like the crappiest road I've ever driven.
I thought we might get stuck. Your truck needs detailing. Let's put it that way.
I just got it detailed last month too.
It looked good before we got here, and
like down in Fort Worth, you can take it to a place, and for $75, you go through the wash, and then you take it over, and then you come back an hour later, and it literally looks like it's a showroom floor quality.
Well, right now you have red clay on the roof of your truck.
Did you notice how shiny my dash was, though?
Your truck looks great. I got the truck. My Sarah at home helped clean out my truck a couple of days ago because we were like, you know what? Might be using the truck. Want to have the truck look good because generally I got Hank and Duke's, car seat in the back, and there's crayons, and there's literally everything in the back seat.
I have crayons in my truck.
Cleaned it out, made it look great, and I'm like, we'll use that. And then we get here, and your truck looks like it's brand new right off the lot. Well, It did. Right now,
and I told you when we finally got there, it was a mile and a half. I mean, it was like small lakes.
We drove through a river to get there.
It was bad. Like the worst I've had the truck in ever.
Yeah.
And I got to the field where the buck was, and he had his position, the lights, and you can see all the pictures on the story.
Yeah.
And I said, "What the hell, dude? Like maybe a little heads up, like that would have been nice." And he goes, "Well, if I told you how bad the road was, you wouldn't have come helped."
Yeah. Well, that's pretty true.
And I said, "That's a fair point."
You called him halfway there down that road to make sure we were on the right dirt road because that's how bad it was.
Well, we had that truck following us for a while, and it's a road that you don't want anyone following you down.
It's a road there shouldn't be anyone following.
I just knew that Juice had a couple very sharp arrows at the end of that road, and probably
there was
some other very usable, well-oiled weapons that should that person have continued to follow us.
I was in my head. I didn't say it in my head. I was like, "There's a 50-50 chance this guy is coming after us." Because I mean,
you don't go down that road unless you're going somewhere.
It's not a road. It was a dirt trail.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that. Got bit by 1,000 mosquitoes while we were out there, and then we rushed back here to do this. And I still have nothing rigged and prepped and ready to go. Which I got to tell you, I don't know how much prepping you did for this, but it was unlike anything I've ever done. Where you're going normally for a tournament, you're like, what should I bring? I'll bring this and that and this. And for this, it's like, okay, well, we're gonna fish for bass maybe one day max. Everything else, it's like I don't have catfish stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have catfish stuff?
I do. I haven't broken that out yet.
Big circle hooks or what?
Rods, reels.
We got to stop and pick up
with the live bait clickers
gizzards.
On it. the catfish, we'll get into this as the show goes on. The catfish to me is going to be a bonus species because they have to be so freaking big. I feel like the in-fisherman category for catfish is outlandish.
Yeah, it's like 40 pounds across the board.
Yeah.
And this is not funny, by the way.
The Buc-ee's cups?
Yeah, no,
I think that's
was not
fantastic.
funny.
So circling back, here's what we're doing. So it was 6 months ago. I had Thomas Allen on from In-Fisherman. He used to work for Bass. I wanted to have him on. Long time subscriber, fan of In-Fisherman, kind of molded my childhood. And I was unaware of it, but kind of the same scenario for you, right?
100%. Yes.
Like you grew up with the Lindners.
Yeah.
And
yeah, In-Fisherman was the deal for me.
The Quins.
Lindners were from the Chicago area, moved north.
Dahlberg.
Yeah, all that content they put out was content that related to the lakes that I fished versus, I got In-Fisherman, Bassmaster magazine and Fishing Facts and all that stuff too. But like the In-Fisherman really resonated with the northern anglers.
Yeah. I mean, I would literally, like, for the monthly or yearly trip that we took to Canada, I would have one or two things that I would have my dad take me to Mike's Tackle World, and I would literally like buy what I had read in In-Fisherman for the walleye or for the pike or something like that, and then watch the TV shows that I would record on VHS over and over. It was Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em Hockey, like Rock'em Sock'em 2, where he's like, now let's go to some Glovely saves, and be like Patrick Waugh just flashing the leather. It'd be like, like a John Cordick fight.
Eddie Belfour.
Yeah, and the Eagle Eddie Belfour, like little Joe Sakic, how's she going, getting caught in the trolley tracks in the neutral zone with your head down. And then I would switch between that and In-Fisherman and Midwest Outdoors.
Yeah, Midwest Outdoors was another one for me too. Yeah, man. It's funny because I think if you were to talk to most Southern anglers, they'd talk about the Roland Martins and Bill Dances, but really up in the upper Midwest, it was.
And Babe, take that picture off the wall right there.
Good old Babe Winkleman.
Yeah, take that picture off the wall and see
his
if
wife
you can
Sherry
hold that
always
up.
did the
So that's in the studio. Turn it just a little bit. There you go. So that says, to Matt Good Fishing, Babe Winkleman. Like that, those were what influenced me growing up. Like I remember I was at the Decatur Civic Center during the Decatur Fishing Expo as a young child, waited in line to get that autograph from Babe Winkleman.
The Babe.
And have had it up in wherever I have lived for the past 20 years.
Yeah, dude, I don't remember what grade it was, 6th, 7th, or 8th. We used to do a talent show. And so that was what we called grammar school. Some people call it elementary school. Anyway, so we, another classmate and I did in the talent show, we did a skit, and it was off of the Saturday Night Live Superfan skit with like the Ditka, like, Ditka and 35 Polish sausages and those guys would eat. We actually did a skit, which was us sitting in a boat that we made. That was the Babe versus like Jaws, or the Babe versus all these different creatures. And yeah, I mean, that's how it was. Al Lindner, Ron Linder, James Lindner, those guys are the guys that I look to for all of my fishing knowledge growing up. Like that's who educated me to catch fish. And it was cool because they were multi-species. Like they did everything. They didn't just do bass.
So, and we'll just continue to get back to the core of the story. And then I like these little offshoots because it kind of puts it all into perspective as to why we're so jacked up about this, right? So you have that. So I had Thomas Allen on, and I'd been working with him to get him on for a couple months. He's doing a big series of podcasts and shows of kind of like the history of In-Fisherman and stuff that's going on over there, and takes care of all their digital stuff. And I wanted to get him on the show just to talk mainly about how the outside world, because he worked for Bass, sees high-level tournament bass fishing. Is there an impact of it? What is that bubble like from the outside looking in? I mean, do they look at us like these guys? Do they snarky? Like what does that view look like? Because we're so deep into it that, like, it's impossible to take a step back out of the tournament fishing bubble. I mean, I've lived it 24/7, 365. I mean, it's what I do for fun. It's what I do for my job. It's what I do in my free time. And then when I'm busy, that's what I'm doing too, right?
Yeah. And the reality is, like, the bass fishing fandom, that community is a small fraction of like the angling community. And that's one thing, like with this Master Angler Award, how many, what is there, 25 or 27 categories? And that just shows like how many different species are out there that the anglers are chasing, or are fishing for. We tend to be so, just deeply involved in the bass fishing world that I think a lot of times we forget about some of the other species. And for me, one of the things that I love about this is if I go bass fishing, it's always, how do I relate this to my tournament fishing career? Like, I'm always trying to be able to apply something. So it's hard to kind of fun fish. So when I'm at home, a lot of times my fun fishing is actually geared towards other species of fish. And that's where I really kind of just bring back that love for the sport, where I'm like, man, this is why I do this. So to be able to chase, I don't know how many of the species we're actually going to fish for, but the reality is, like, all of this is going to be so much more entertaining for me because it's not going to be bass fishing. It's not going to be something I apply to my tournament fishing. And I'm just excited for it because it just allows me to kind of fall back into my love for fun fishing.
So simultaneously when we had Thomas Allen on, you had an article published in In-Fisherman.
Yeah.
That month that we had him on, and I was just chatting with you, completely unrelated. You didn't know I was going to have him on, and you were like super jacked about it. Like, what was the article about? Or there's pictures, or was something?
Yeah, it was just so I didn't write it, but it was they used some of my content they interviewed me, I guess, for some Ned rig tips. Is all it was. It was a Ned rig fishing article.
But it was you in the actual, like, the magazine.
Yeah, it was the first time I have been in In-Fisherman magazine, and I actually got more thrill out of that than being in, the Bass magazine that MLF does, or being in some of the other magazines. Like, to me, it was just something special because it was, again, that's the magazine that I got when I was a kid that I really just loved to get. So to see myself for the first time in there was pretty surreal, and it was really cool. So that's why we were on there. And then
so I had the same experience. So I had David Brown, who I know David Brown does a great job, writes for a lot of different publications, been around for a long time. And I had done some stuff at a media event in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and up in Minnesota, and then at Hartwell, and that had gotten published on the .com side of In-Fisherman. And for me to say, here's Matt Pangrak's off the wall Nico rig baits, it was me that I like Nico. I was Nico rigging at the time. That article is about I was taking a tiny fluke, not the tiny fluke, the small fluke, the super fluke junior, and I'm putting a nail weight in the nose of it, and then taking a drop shot hook and hooking the bait in the back, and then around the break walls. I figured this out we're going to Grand tomorrow to chase hybrids, but I figured this out on Grand. They had this thing called the Podunkers League, where it was a MLF style, every fish over a pound counted. Okay. Well, I knew there were tons of these fish around the break walls and that they were eating little shad. And I figured out, dude, like, you pitch that weightless and let that fall, like, it's every cast. You catch like a 1-2, a 1-3.
I would really hover rigging.
Yeah, I won like 3 of these in a row on that bait, and it was like $1,000. Yeah. Guys would catch like 6 for 23. Like, I had no business winning these things, but the format was every fish over a pound counts. I would have like 52 bass for 57 pounds, right? And guys would have like 5 4-pounders, and I was beating them. But anyway, so I did an article on that, and then it was like the off the wall In-Fisherman topic, and then I was like in it with pictures and video on the .com, and I was like, that geeked me out pretty cool. Like, that was super cool. So we had you on. This divulged into like a 3-hour podcast where eventually it circled back to one of the features that In-Fisherman has?
Yeah, I think we were just talking about one of the things that was cool for us as kids was how they've got the Master Angler program. So, you'd, at least for me, I'd go, you'd flip through the magazine, you get towards the end where the Master Angler is, and they show all the different size qualifications to be considered Master Angler, a length and a weight for each species of fish. So for me, it was always like, okay, I'd go down the list and it was like, man, I caught a 20.5-inch smallmouth. That's a Master Angler size. So like I used those criteria that In-Fisherman had for the Master Angler Award to kind of determine how big the fish were that I was catching, like that, whether it was a big fish or not. So, I remember looking at it being like a 15-inch yellow perch. Like I've never heard of such a thing. Like those don't even exist. And, depending on where you live or you're fishing, you obviously can catch those. But it was just one of those cool things. You'd always flip through the magazine, read all the articles, and you get towards the end, and there it was, Master Angler. And then your memory just starts thinking of every fish you've ever caught as a little kid. And it was pretty cool. And I think that's kind of what led us to this crazy.
Yeah. So I kind of became obsessed with this. And by the end of the show, we were like, let's go catch every single species,
we
Master
asked,
Angler size, all 27, and do it in 7 days.
As far as we know, we asked Thomas, we said, has anyone ever caught
all 27?
Yeah. And as far as he knew, it's never been done.
They had not. So we started. I had someone who once told me, they're like, hey, never give someone a filet mignon when they're not expecting steak. Always start out with like a nice flank steak. And then if they're like, the steak is kind of chewy, then go up to a strip, and then go to a ribeye, and then go to the filet, and then the Wagyu. And I feel like with this challenge, we started off with A5 Wagyu.
I love Wagyu.
Dude, I've had it one time.
Dude, it's sometimes
the A5?
on sale. It's sometimes on sale at my grocery store. It's like 25
No, I'm talking about like the actual like A5 where it's like a cube for like $180
You're
for
right.
4
the
ounces.
The stuff I was buying was Australian.
No,
Wagyu.
the Wagyu stuff.
It still is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like butter.
So we started off with, hey, we're going to do this like adventure and we're going to film it. We're going to catch all 27 species, no expenses spared. We're going to jet set around the freaking world and we're going to catch 4 species a day in 7 days. And
then it went to 10 days.
Yeah. And then it went to 10 days. And then reality set in where we were like,
well, we started looking at schedules.
Yeah, no. Well, just as a whole, like you look at the fish, it's impossible.
No, well,
that's impossible to do in 10 days. There's no way you could catch all 27 Master Angler species.
We couldn't find 10 days that both of us, you had to go qualify for the Natty Championship. And then
I did that through a wrench.
That cut some days off. And then I had a couple of issues. So we ended up, we're getting close to a solid week out of this, but of total, I guess, week for me, travel time. It's not 4 or 5 days.
Anyway, so what it eventually came down to was we both love multi-species. We definitely want to make this happen. The goal is to still knock off all 27 of these species of Master Angler caliber on camera, on film, document it, get 27 patches, like the whole 9 yards.
Is that what we get? Is a patch?
Yeah, let me see exactly what it says. So it says,
are we going to get some like cool old style vests?
Each region, anglers who enter the largest kept or largest released fish of a species receive a Master Angler parchment certificate suitable for framing.
Parchments.
Anglers who enter qualifying fish receive a Master Angler patch, 1 per year, and species chevron. So I'm assuming that's a little thing that says trout, largemouth bass, and then we could do it on a jacket. I think we 100% need to purchase. We need to purchase. Remember those old Ranger jackets that have the hooded thing, but then are like the.
Aren't you wearing one in one of these pictures, like those old school?
Yeah, jackets? I have one around somewhere, but that's the type of.
I might put them on my jersey next year.
Yeah, I wonder if we only get one though. We only have like one jacket.
Well, but I could still have a decal made up that looks like it.
You could.
I mean, we're a team in this case. So if you catch the crappie over 15 inches.
I mean, we're 0 for 27 right now, so we're putting the cart ahead of the horse.
I expect catch a couple patches. That's a tongue twister.
Long story short, 26 minutes later, you're here, you drove here, and we're going to try to knock 4 to 6 of them out in the next 5 days and bring all you guys along with us.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it.
I mean, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have, so we're going to try to do daily recap videos on my channel showing the actual fish catches, trying to bring you along. It's going to be hard to edit in time. We'll do.
I mean, I haven't edited a good video. Well, the last time I edited it was for Drew Gill's.
Yeah, that was a good video.
Birthday party.
That didn't take you long at all either.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, that used to be my jam. Did you ever watch those videos I used to put out?
I mean, I'm sure it did, but
like, have you ever seen any, like when I used to do daily videos for the Opens and all that and the AFTCO Bass Boot Camp stuff?
Yeah, I did, but I don't think I realized you did a lot of that.
You see the Gunnersville effect, 30 feet deep, knowing Mr. Kennedy, the 30 feet deep. I edited,
if I saw it,
did all of that stuff, dude. It's like deep in the recesses of my brain. I can do that.
So are we going to do nightly BTL recaps?
Yes. So what we're going to do is, and we'll explain our fish strategy. We'll take a break and come back. But what we're going to do is Matt STEFAN Fishing YouTube channel daily recap video.
That's the plan
of our quest.
But it probably won't start tomorrow. It'll probably be out Thursday.
It'll be, we have to do it tomorrow night, so it goes out Thursday morning, right? What time does your video
normally
usually
they go
drop?
out 4 p.m. Central. So we'll be fishing tomorrow.
So it'll drop at 4 p.m. Central on Wednesday. Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. So there you go. Do you have one in the queue for tomorrow?
I do. But we can.
Yeah. No. I didn't want to break your streak. How many days in a row are you at posting?
It's like 1,500 videos straight, daily videos,
without missing a single one.
That's right, buddy.
How many ahead are you scheduled right now? Like, let's just say
not enough with this trip.
So we have to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I've got videos through Friday, so we should be fine.
So every night, then we're going to come back. We're going to break down what we did during that day. I have Thomas Allen on speed dial from In-Fisherman. We have the form. We have measuring devices. Yep. We have everything ready to go to where we will officially come back, and I'll probably do it live. Like, I mean, I think I can just do like.
I think if we catch one, we should do like a celebratory shot per species.
Yeah, look, I can literally. Oh, Matt STEFAN. I can literally fill this out like live on here. Email. Oh no, because that's your email and phone number.
What are you doing over there?
I'm filling out the Master Angler Award.
Oh,
thing, and then Region 2 species. Hybrid striped bass, date caught, body of water.
You know what we should do is any of the viewers out there that catch more Master Angler Awards than us during this 5 days, we should give them a prize. I'm talking off the cuff right now. You're giving me an eyeball, like maybe not.
Will you mail it to him?
I'll do a core tackle prize pack.
Okay. I will throw in a spool of Sunline Sniper. 660-yard bulk spool, and some core tackle.
Sounds good. So is it on a daily or over the course of the 4 days?
Let's do the daily.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Whoever catches more than we catch on a daily basis.
A bigger one.
No, more. So if we catch 3 Master Angler Awards, they have to catch 4 in a day. They have to beat us total number of Master Anglers.
Doesn't matter what species.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But Thomas Allen's on speed dial. He's going to come on to the show. He's going to come on the show tomorrow night, regardless. I'm going to, once this internet service is back up in 4K.
Hopefully.
No, it will be.
I feel like you've had this fixed 4 times and it's been doing this for a while.
It has.
Tell him you want a new transformer.
Don't even get me started on that.
It's probably the casino down the road sucking up all your power.
No, it's a transformer that has water in it.
It's a wet transformer.
It's a dirty signal. It's a moist, dirty, wet transformer.
Moist electric box. Yeah.
Did we set the stage fairly well?
Think so. What's our plan? Or are we going to touch plan after this?
We're going to take a break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we're going to dive into why we have to get up at 3:30 in the morning tomorrow, and why we literally probably have to get up at 2 in the morning on Thursday.
We're going to be exhausted after this.
We're going to dive into the species we're going to target, and we'll take any tips or suggestions from our listeners and viewers. So I want to thank everybody for jumping on. It is a Tuesday night special edition. Matt and Matt on BTL. We will be back right after this.
Coming at you.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
This is Gamakatsu's new Nano Alpha line of hooks. If it looks familiar, that's because they are. It's the same shapes and sizes in the round bend and the EWG and in the new Horizon head that you know and love from Gamakatsu, but there are a couple new features with this Nano Alpha, which is this little green label that you see on the packaging. First off, 2 times faster hook penetration. That's because of the Nano Alpha smooth coating on it, and also it is 4 times more corrosion resistant. Check it out, Nano Alpha.
I've been using Sunline Shooter for the majority of my career. Millions of dollars made, lots of bass caught, and the gnarly, gnarly stuff. If you need a abrasion resistant, tough fishing line for the really, really mean stuff, Sunline Shooter is for you.
Beatdown is efficient.
Rock solid. 100% American made.
This thing is super tough. I mean, this thing is not going anywhere.
I've ran the Beatdown double stack from Florida all the way up to New York. And the one thing that I know is when I get to my fishing destination, I never have to worry about issues with my graph mount.
Your options are endless with these mounts, but they're steady, they're solid. These are the most reliable mounts on the market, and you can't go wrong with the Beatdown.
When you're ready to hit the water, Denali Fishing has you covered. Regardless of your skill level, from beginner all the way up to tournament pro, Denali has rods, reels, and tungsten to get the job done. Check them out at denalifishing.com.
All right, welcome back, BTL on a Tuesday night. Matt Stefan in the house, updating his Instagram.
I'm letting my YouTube fan base know that we're actually live right now. I forgot to do that.
You drove 13 hours to go live and then forgot to let your...
I can't text while I'm
You have like
driving.
100,000 subscribers,
text and
don't you?
drive.
How many subscribers you got?
Not that many.
You've got more than BTL.
We're getting close to 70.
That's impressive.
And I appreciate every one of them.
Yes. There's 2 that you don't appreciate.
There's actually 3 or 4 that have not been real nice lately.
Yeah.
They've been pretty vocal about a few things.
Yeah, it is like that.
That's okay.
I get that occasionally.
Put ourselves out there.
I do want to mention before we go on any further, enter for a chance to win an AFTCO Reaper bundle. It's getting cold outside these days, so Reaper they got like the Reaper jacket, the Reaper pullover, and then the original Reaper, which is that thing that pulls over. Anyway, good product.
Skim ice when I left this morning.
So they were like, "Hey, do you want to give away some Reapers for free, no strings attached on BTL?" And I said yes, but I'm not very good at mailing things out, as we've established over the last 5 years. So they created a landing page. That link will be in the YouTube description for the show. I forgot to put it in now. It's in yesterday's show where I had Mr. Caps on, who won the Bass Nation Championship. Completely free. There's hundreds of dollars. We've given it out. Click on that link, fill it out. Now, I said the caveat is You do have to give them your email and phone number.
It's all right.
Yeah. So enter for a chance to win with that. BTL listeners extremely supportive of this. Is only for BTL. So anybody who signs up for this, listens to it, AFTCO says, hey, make a difference BTL. Let's continue to support the BTL platform, which in turn allows me to make a living and continue to do daily shows. So I feel like that's a fair trade-off.
I agree.
So that runs through the 18th. So I would like to encourage everybody to click on that link. There's that link again there that I put across the bottom. But also, if you're listening to the replay of this show, which the majority of people will, or you're listening on iTunes, direct link in the bio for YouTube. So much appreciated. What are we going to catch tomorrow?
I think we're going to kick it off with a Master Angler Award hybrid striper.
All right.
How do you feel about that? Do you think that?
I got this banner going, and now I'm in my brands, and now I'm in the comments, and now I got to click banner. And there we go. All right.
How big do we got to give for that? 24 inches?
Right here. Okay. Let's start with tomorrow. Folks, this is live. Like, we're literally having this conversation like we would have like in the living room watching TV, because we have not.
Well, we would have had it, except we had to go take pictures of a giant buck.
Yes.
About 14 points.
It was 100% worth it. Go to Juice's Jigs on social media. It is the Juice who ties the Juice's Jigs. He will be having some.
If you can get them.
You can't get them.
Go to the eBay secondary market and you can pay probably
I don't
5
know
times
if
as
any
much.
Out on eBay yet.
Oh,
there's only probably 500 in the world in circulation right now.
Total?
Yes.
That's all he's made?
Yeah. So he did a drop with 144.
How many do you have?
Well, I mean, I'm
just asking. You got a couple to spare?
Yeah, I mean, I've probably got 50 or 60. Well, I've got them for all different, and I've got all different levels from when he started tying to the ones that he just tied.
Can you tell a difference between the early ones and the later ones?
He's much more talented now.
Does he have hybrid stripe bass?
Yeah, we 100% break one on it tomorrow if we find that school. So, Robert G kind of blew those things up when he top 10 to Elite Series on it. And I liked that style of jig he was doing, but I was like, man, I need like more bulk in Oklahoma, right? Like this isn't spotted bass and stuff. So the new drop's going to have some additions to it. Like we added like a collar out of a endangered species. Like that. I don't know. It's hard to get. It's hard to get. It's like hollow hair, like a collar on it. So it actually flares and looks like a shad when you sit there. And
is it a mammal species or a bird species?
It's a mystery hair.
Oh. It must be from some roadkill. You at least salvage the roadkill.
It's not from.
Dude, what's up with all the dead skunk around your house?
That's shocking, dude. The skunks are. It must be mating season for the skunks because they are on the move.
It doesn't smell like mating season.
I've never seen skunks doing it. Have you?
Mm-mm.
I'm assuming they have live young. They're not like
my
platypus where they have eggs.
Skunks, they're a mammal. They have eggs.
Okay.
Dude, we need to have a talk.
No.
Okay.
I mean, you ever walked in and seen two skunks going at it?
I mean, no, but no.
Exactly. Why? No. You don't technically know where they come from.
I mean, but I know they don't lay eggs.
Yeah. Yes, I know my internet sucks. We've already been over this.
Oh, is it stumbling?
No, it's just that fuzzy thing. It's dirty.
It is the moist box.
Yeah. It's good 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Not good when you do it for a living. What were we talking about? Skunks?
No, hybrids. So let's get off the skunk eggs. We're going after hybrids.
Yes.
First thing tomorrow.
So this was a special species that I did not think we were going to get a chance to target. And last week on Grand, I came across the largest school of hybrid striped bass that I've ever seen in my life. So much so I made 2 casts and caught 2 Master Angler hybrid striped bass, and then immediately left because I was trying to make Bassmaster Classic, which didn't work out.
And save them for the challenge.
No, I was trying The challenge was not on my. The challenge
Not at
was on
all.
my mind because it crossed my mind. Hey, we need to.
How many did you see in this school?
I don't feel
Conservatively.
conservatively. I don't feel comfortable saying
100,
no, well north of 100,
500.
well north of 500.
Do you know how many fish that is?
It blacked out my live scope screen in 360 degrees from 5 foot down to 24 foot.
Holy cow.
And I dropped a minnow down. I told my co-angler, I said, I knew they put these in here. I've heard of guys catching these now. Like, there were a couple guys at the meeting that were like, oh man, I had so much fun on the hybrids. It was every cast. I'd seen a lot of pictures of them, but I haven't fished Grand that much over the last 3-4 years. And as soon as I dropped it down, I said, I think these are the hybrids. And it literally, I drop it down. I mean, just didn't stop. Like, I had to go chase it. And it was big.
So you think we can go side image those areas and
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we can go side image those areas.
Set it real wide.
Yeah. And I mean, they were individual balls and the whole screen, it just was, I mean, it was just, I can't even describe. I should have taken a picture.
Fun.
It is 100%. If they're in that area, like we're going to have to side image and find hybrid striper, boom, done. And
how deep were
they were 5 foot down to 24. They were, so it dropped down into like 34. There's like a hump on top at like 5. It's like a real steep ledge. And they were in the deeper water right off of the ledge. They weren't up on top. So I pulled up the Master Angler stuff here. So hybrid striped bass, you see right here is 10 pounds kept or 26 inches catch and release. We're in region 2. So that would be a 10 pound or a 26 inch hybrid striped bass. Now, I love eating hybrid stripers and stripers.
You do?
Absolutely. We'll cook one up tomorrow. No, you cut that out.
Okay. I don't know that I've ever.
You can either cut that out and bake them, or I like to do them on the half shell.
What does that mean?
Where I take just a dish scrub and scrub the scales really good. They're still on. I keep the scales on, and then I just fillet it really nicely, take the pin bones out, cut around the rib cage, cut that line of pin bones out, and then literally do it like a redfish.
So you cook them with the scales on?
Yeah, put it straight on the smoker.
You don't take the scales off?
No, you eating it off of the. Have you never had redfish on the half shell?
I'm a fried fish kind of guy. I come from Wisconsin.
Okay, well,
fried night fish, fried type thing.
Hybrid striper on the half shell kind of guy tomorrow night.
I mean, you got any bread and we can put on them?
No, you don't do that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Grand. I've got a couple different areas. I had an area in Horse Creek I thought I could win the tournament off of. I went there on day 2. I had saved it. I didn't fish it on day 1. Took a big plug, chucked it out there, 3 cranks, said there she is. It was like a 7-pound hybrid.
Yeah, I'm all for that. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Jerry Dillard said hybrid on the half shell is the only way to do it.
Yeah, well, we don't have hybrids in Wisconsin. None. I take that back. There may be Lake Columbia's power plant lake. They may put them in there.
Jay says this live stream video quality looks like the first American Pie.
Holy smokes!
It will be better tomorrow, guys. It'll be crystal
tomorrow
clear.
HD.
Yes, that's why we're not going. Lightning said they're broadcasting from the moon. Oh gosh, I'm taking a beating.
Do you think we went to the moon?
Yes.
Okay.
They were not turning this into a smallmouth crush show.
I'm just curious. I didn't know.
So the game plan is tomorrow, Wednesday, November 13th. Hybrid striper in the morning. It's 2.5 hour drive up to Grand. We're going to dump it at Twin Spillways. We're going to go hit it. There won't be anyone else out there. Hopefully we find the school. It should be overcast. They should be moving and eating. Then on the way back, we're going to go slightly out of the way, but we're going to attempt a
crappie,
a black or a white crappie. Wait, what the heck? They 100% updated these.
15 inch.
Yeah, or 2.25 pound.
What was it before?
2.
Thomas. He did say they were going to be updating stuff. But I mean, I feel like if we're going to catch 15-incher, we can do regardless 2.25.
2.25. It's 2.25.
Yeah.
For those who are into the decimal system.
That's a bigger crappie.
Yeah, or 15 inches.
15 inches. Yeah, we can still do it.
Yeah. So we're going to take a detour, and then in the afternoon, we're going to dump in on a different body of water. And we're going to attempt to catch 2 master anglers, a white crappie, and a hybrid striped bass tomorrow.
And if we accomplish those early, we may go after saw guy.
Yes.
Probably
Unfortunately,
not, but
the lake that I thought we could catch that we 100% could catch a master angler saw guy in, I did a little research over our burgers tonight, and those are actually walleye.
By research, he means he showed me a picture of a walleye and said it was a sauger.
Listen, they're
which
very similar.
He's telling the straight northern guy, no, Matt, that's a walleye.
They're very similar fish.
I mean,
so that's the plan for tomorrow. Should we lay out the whole plan for the week, or should we just do it a day at a time? And then
day at a time.
Day at a time.
I don't know because we got to evaluate whether.
But dude, we've got something up our sleeve.
We're gonna catch some big ones.
We've got something up our sleeve.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a drive.
Well, yeah, I don't think we can release
no
yet.
We've got something up our sleeve.
But I still don't understand. So, like, the one thing that still blows my mind is that there's no bluegill in Oklahoma.
I do not know anywhere in Oklahoma where I can catch a 1.5 pound or 13-inch.
It's 11-inch
red ear sunfish or a 1.5 pound, 11-inch bluegill,
which doesn't make sense right there.
I guarantee you there are farm ponds. There are stuff where you can get that done. If anybody knows that is willing to share that with us or has an in, or if you own it, not like, hey, like I jumped a fence one time and caught a 2-pound bluegill on this guy's ranch.
Well, the thing is, those numbers are the same for region 1, which would be if we were to like hopefully people enjoy this series. And then if we don't accomplish it, we'll continue the series. And maybe you'll come up by me and we'll chase some of the fish that we can't get.
That's the plan.
But
we're going to kind of chunk this up.
The bluegill in region 1 is the same in region 2. So I feel like we have a better shot at catching an 11-inch, 1.5 pound bluegill in Oklahoma than we do in Wisconsin.
That's fair. Should we even tell them what other species we're going for?
I mean, I think we should rattle off some of the ones we're going for.
Okay, we're obviously going for largemouth bass. And if things go really well, we'll attempt to catch a smallmouth. That's an easy one.
You got to give the sizes.
Largemouth bass is
10
in region
24.
2 is 10 pounds or 24 inches. A smallmouth bass is 5 pounds or 20 inches. That's not going to happen.
No, we should save that.
A spotted bass is not going to happen either.
Aren't they catching big ones on Grand?
Yeah,
Not that big.
Spotted bass is now 5 pounds or 20 inches in region 2.
It wasn't that before.
It 100% was not
inches.
that before. It was definitely 18 inches and 3 pounds.
Yeah, they did. You know what? I bet you Thomas did this on purpose to us. You know he changed.
Dude, these numbers are not what they had been.
No, I think I still have an old screenshot in my phone. I can go back and look.
Absolutely. I'm texting him right now.
He probably did it on purpose. He's watching right now laughing at us.
I thought they were going to update them to make some of them more reasonable.
No. You think? No. I'm telling you, I think they raised the catfish categories too. Because right now, flathead and blue catfish are the exact same size.
Yeah, it was a 5 pound spotted bass.
Yeah, that's big everywhere.
A 5 pound spotted bass and smallmouth are the exact same in region 2.
Mm-hmm. It was 18 inches before.
Yeah, that's
because we thought we could go to Table Rock and get one.
That's a big ass spotted bass. We can't. Yeah. Well, okay. There's also And like I said, we can do some of these on other trips. Sauger, walleye, saugeye, potential there.
Well, but the saw guy and sauger, you got some stock lakes around here that have them. There aren't that many lakes that have saw guy or sauger.
And Oklahoma is one of the few that does.
The Mississippi River is a place that has some of them, but there's not that many.
So I know how to catch these catfish.
Do you?
The size of them, to me, is incomprehensible. I do not know how to catch a 40 or 42-inch blue cat. I don't think I've ever seen that in Oklahoma. Like that's a beast. I mean, a beast.
Yeah, that's a two-handed belly holder.
In a blue cat. A 20-pound or 32-inch channel cat. Beast. Or a 40-pound or 42-inch flathead. Now, if lightning, it's not if lightning hits you in the head with a bottle.
In a bottle.
If we catch lightning in a bottle.
That doesn't happen.
There's potential for that. And then we got 2 or 3 other species on here. But our goal this week.
I feel like a 40-pound flathead is a giant flathead.
It's massive. Our goal this week, if everything goes right, 6 species. Realistically,
well, there's still the chance of running over to the White River.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think if we do 6 in 4 days,
that's baller.
I mean, that's 6 trophy class fish.
Realistically, I think if we catch 3, we're winning.
That's 6 different species. But
3 species is winning. I think we'll do 2.
I think we can do multiples of 2 species.
Okay.
For a total of 6.
Yeah.
I think 6 different species. 8 is the best we could potentially do.
If we do 8, I'm not even going to say it because then we'll do it and then I'll have to mail something to freaking 7,000 people.
Are you whispering right?
No, I'm just talking to myself. I'm not gonna promise anything.
It's going to be a challenge. I think we're taking on a big task right now.
Yeah. But tomorrow we're
And
starting out at Grand, hybrid striped and crappie. That's what we're trying.
Yeah.
That's what we're rolling for.
Just to be clear with the audience, we're not like talking to guides. We're figuring this out upon ourselves.
I talked to some people.
You did?
Just like, hey, does this make sense? Yeah, that can be done there.
Are we within the no information rule?
No, I don't have like
is there a
anything.
master angler no information rule?
I don't have spots or anything.
Yeah. Okay. So what you asked for, like best cut bait for catfish?
No. I went like, hey,
or what lake?
Yeah. Listen, this book is called The Lakes of Oklahoma. There's literally 500 lakes in here. A lot of them are good. A lot of them suck. Know someone on a lake, you call and say, hey, is it going right now? And they say, yeah, no, stay the hell away from here. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, well, I think that's reasonable. But
that's when I say information like that. That's what I mean.
Or anything. It's like, hey, this lake, the crappie are starting to bite.
Sam, these are not Boy Scout hats. These are In-Fisherman hats.
Boy Scout hats.
I guess that's the color of Boy Scout
Sam
hats. Who used to have the Boy Scout? Was that Reddington?
Yeah, I talked to him on the way here.
I talked to him pretty regularly.
I love Tommy.
Yeah, he's a good dude. All right. We got a lot of rigging to do. We have a lot to do. So we'll be back tomorrow night.
Yes.
Hopefully with Thomas Allen on as he's verifying.
I feel like we're going to get into it with Thomas at some point. Like there's going to be some discrepancy between.
He said that he did not think that they have been. He said, I don't think so. All regional specific.
Yeah.
I promise you that crappie was not 2.25 pounds. Oh, we can go back on the show.
Spotted bass was 18 inches.
We can go back on the show.
Yeah. Well, it's the rules we got to go by right now.
Follow us. I'll have a good Instagram story rolling tomorrow at Matt Pangrack. Matt Stefan will have an Instagram story, and you'd probably do Facebook, don't you?
I do YouTube.
Okay, YouTube. And then a video on Thursday Podcast Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, video Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Something like that.
And quite frankly, we're kind of rolling with this to see how it looks. You got anything else you want to add tonight?
No, we got to rig crappie rods.
We got to rig crappie
and
rods.
Hybrid. What are we going to use for hybrids? Minnows?
Anything that moves.
Hair jigs.
It was literally
jigs.
anything that moved.
Juice jigs.
Yes, we could use a juice jig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make him a very happy camper. Even happier than he is now after his 14-point buck.
It's a big one. All right, let's go do that.
All right, this has been another edition of BTL. BTL at Night with Matt Stefan. Tomorrow night, stay tuned for a recap of our In-Fisherman adventures. See ya.